I'm Chris Owen, a.k.a. The Shermanator, from American Pie, and you are listening to the Cinescape on Toxic Radio.
Welcome to the Cinescape Podcast, where we're changing the landscape of movie and TV news and reviews. Donald Trump couldn't shut us down. Welcome to the Cinescape Podcast on a Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, of course. I am Sean Harrigan, joined as always by Bill. Can't figure out his wire situation, Tazi.
That was a terrible name.
And hosting our lovely selves here today is our producer extraordinaire, Toxic Mike Francolino. Hey. Michael, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going good, going good. I'm glad you guys are here, and we're gonna have some fun.
How'd your weekend go, Michael?
It went good. It went good. I went to the I went clothes shopping. If you can notice, I have a really nice Golden Girls shirt on right now.
I've never seen B. Arthur look so hot.
Who was your Golden Girl? Who did you like?
Oh, which one? Blanche.
Blanche.
She was the whore.
Can you point to Blanche?
Blanche, I believe, wasn't this? Where is she at?
The one on the right?
Right here?
Yeah.
That one was Blanche.
She was like the younger one of the bunch, right?
No. Really?
Well,
which one was the younger? Wasn't she the younger one?
Betty White?
Betty White. Great ass! But anyway, went shopping, also went to the Franklin Institute.
Ooh.
They have the Vikings exhibit, which was really, really cool.
Nice.
You get to see a little bit of history and the stuff that they used to use, and it's all authentic, so it was really cool. Yeah. Nice. I like to learn.
Wow. Yeah. What did you learn?
Wow. I learned that reading sucks. Because that's all it is. You look at the cool stuff and you read. But their money was weird. It was like little tiny coins. They were like super tiny.
Oh, the Vikings money.
Their Vikings money. Yeah, that was really weird. And their jewelry could be used today. Like, they had really cool jewelry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you walk through the human heart?
I was going to, but there was like so many kids like just charging through that thing. I was like, how many boogers and nasty
that
stuff
thing always smelled. Do you remember that? That had like that ball pit like smell where it was just like, you know, sweaty kids. You know, one kid possibly shit himself, and when he went through there, that smell is just in there for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was so many friggin' kids in there.
Oh yeah.
So, but other than that, it was really cool. I did the planetarium, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that was my weekend so far.
Cool.
And a lot of drinking and card games last night, where I drank a lot of whiskey.
Playing gin rummy with the boys.
No, I drank a lot of rummy.
We got Jose in the chat room.
Oh, what up?
Yeah, what up?
What up, Jose?
Hey, Jose.
So today's show, we got a lot of pretty cool topics, I think, to fill out the larger portions of the show. We're going to be talking some awards season build up as well.
Yeah.
We had the Oscar nominees announced earlier this week.
Yes.
We also had its counterpart, the Razzies.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going over both of those lists to see who was nominated for the best and worst of in 2018.
Right.
And then towards the end of today's show, Bill, we're going to debut a new game that I've been working on. We tested it out the other night. I had to create a bunch of more questions because we used everything that I currently had, and
because I got them all right.
Actually, I was doing some with my wife earlier, and she was getting a lot of them. Very, very proud of her. Good job, honey.
Good job.
But with all that, let's jump right into our TV Buzz segment here, Bill, where we're going to highlight the biggest stories from the world of televisions. Right off the bat, we have a lot going on with Netflix here, Bill. Go ahead and read this.
This so one. Just to bring you up to speed, Netflix subscribers, beware, because the giant streaming company is set to raise its U.S. subscriber prices over the next 3 months. Listen. Okay. According to the Associated Press, the basic plan that most people have, which is $8 or $9. It's gonna jump from $8 to $9. The most popular plan will jump from $11 a month to $13, and the premium plan, which if you have 4K, will jump from $14 to $16. So, yeah. So what does this all mean? Basically, Netflix is bringing a modern take. Oh, sorry, I just started jumping into that one. I saw Netflix, but with just to segue into our next one, I think the rate hike and stuff like that is obviously apparent to most subscribers as to what's going on out there. Netflix is becoming this global entity which is starting to produce and direct and have their own studio to make their own films and content. So when you talk about just business in general, what does that mean for a business? Well, you have to pay off all these projects that you finance. So how do you do that? You raise, just like how you're gonna raise taxes, you're gonna raise your subscription for Netflix.
Now, look, when you really think about it, the amount of time that Americans, let alone people all over the world, spend on Netflix today is astronomical.
But do you spend time watching, or do you spend time just scrolling aimlessly until
no doubt that's a giant component of it. You're just looking for something to watch. But still, the amount of time that you're either browsing for or watching the content on Netflix, when you think about it, whatever plan it is, anywhere from $8 to $16. For that low amount of money, you can, altogether, unless you're a live sports fan, you can cut your cable and pay $10, say average of $11 a month for enough content.
But you know what the thing is that, like, cutting cable it's not cost effective, to be honest. When you look at just to have internet, because I recently went through this evaluation process, and you're still going to be paying anywhere from $59 to $79 a month just for the internet. And then if the average streaming plan is at least $10, you have probably at least 3 of those services. So when you factor that in to then the cost plus taxes and any kind of regulatory charges that are on top of that, surcharges, you're coming back out to what you're paying Comcast in the first place.
Sure.
So to each their own, but I think more and more,
they get you coming and going.
And but you think as you see more and more, like Netflix, if you're a T-Mobile person, they pay for it.
T-Mobile pays mine.
It's
raise it all you want, they're going to pay it.
Comcast even I think just discounts you what you pay for Netflix as having that included in their menu lineup.
Right,
so it becomes more and more these services. Like I said in the past, I could see Netflix buying another service or being integrated in some way in future business. Netflix could buy this company because of their distribution.
Sure,
like that,
they're definitely becoming players in the the movie making game. Getting their own studios going, their own production. So the sky's the limit, and if we need to shell out an extra $1, then we were
it's nothing. It's nothing compared to all
now.
everything that you can access to the original content.
So
the low amount that you're actually paying for something that's going to give you countless hours of entertainment. We're stealing that basically.
And talking about stealing,
just like people are getting this content right now for absolutely free.
I know,
you thieves.
Well, that's because we're artists. You know what I mean? We're not after the profit, but
maybe you're not.
But I want to say real quick, Steph Werner in the chat room was asking about
subscribe to our Patreon today and donate.
Yeah. She was asking if they if they track the sharing of accounts and stuff like that. And one thing that I did read is that with prices going up, that also means software changes as well, which apparently they have some technology that they're going to be rolling out that will help monitor, because right now you can either be on so many devices and things like that. So, you know, they're going to have some kind of technology that also tracks, you know, I guess where those logins are being used and shared. And
that doesn't make sense, though, because this is getting down nerd street here, but you know, if you're going to do that basically through IP address monitoring, but if you're with a mobile device, you're going to be moving. So how can you track and say, oh, well, this is coming from this place?
But I think, you know, maybe the way that they already kind of do it now is with, obviously, if
they track your cookies, Bill.
Your cookies.
They track your cookies.
You got to clear your cache.
Oh, man.
Your cache is full. You got to clear it.
Gotta run a system defrag.
I need a disk defrag.
Yeah, come on, man. Clear that shit out.
Yeah.
You're never really gonna hide the porn from your parents unless you do that.
Yeah. What's all this adware on the computer? But I think going back to devices, you know, I think that's probably how they'll get you ultimately, is because if, you know, if you're sharing your login with somebody and you can't register that device, you only have so many devices, they probably get you there where it's like, well, you know, you have 3 phones in the household, an iPad, a computer, you know, but you have Sean Harrigan's iPhone randomly, yeah, no. Sorry, pal, the game's over!
I don't know. I don't think they really put too much stock into the sharing of accounts like that. Yeah, I think they're doing.
Maybe they will once the fact that, you know, the content has to be paid for now.
Well, I mean, 45 million people watch Bird Box, so they're doing all right, Bill.
Yeah. Blindfold sales actually also went up same week.
That's great.
Coincidentally,
we're gonna stay in the Netflix realm here, because Netflix is bringing a quote-unquote modern take on the classic spine-tingling docuseries Unsolved Mysteries to subscribers with the help from the producers of Stranger Things. The streaming service promises to maintain the chilling feeling viewers loved about the original while also telling the stories through the lens of a premium Netflix documentary series. Bill, A, were you a fan of Unsolved Mysteries, you know, late 80s, early 90s, and B, are you at all excited to see you know, a revitalization of this show?
Sure. I wasn't somebody who watched this a lot as a kid.
I remember watching this with my parents as a kid.
I remember it being
like
on
this Rescue 911.
I remember Rescue 911. I think
though the accident was just 1.5 miles down the road, it took them 3 hours to get there.
Do you remember when it was huge at that time on that network? But do you remember when that little girl fell into like that well? Like it was like a
God.
like that. It wasn't even a well. It was like
it was on Lassie, right?
It was like a water pipe. Remember that? And
yes.
it was like the
name?
Size.
Jessica. Little Jessica.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to Google it to see, but it was like the story of the nation because she like it was like a pipe or some of some.
What happened,
sort.
girl? She fell down the well?
No, man. I mean, this shit was like... You don't remember this?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember this?
It's ringing a bell, I guess.
Well, she fell down this pipe, this well thing, and it wasn't just... You know, it wasn't just like random news stations, but then Rescue 911 was like covering it. So it was like William Shatner was like, she fell down the well, and paramedic crews are standing by to see if she's alive. And it, like hearing William Shatner narrate this you know, when there was no Twitter at the time, you had William Shatner narrating basically live tweeting a girl in a well. It made for good TV.
Yeah, it was 1986.
86.
Yeah, I was born in 86.
1986.
Yeah, but they like replayed this shit for like years.
No.
And it was Jessica McClure.
Yeah.
Fell down in her aunt's backyard in Texas.
Yeah.
So that's the story with that.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that like the well was only like as big as her.
Oh, it was small as hell, and everybody was just glued to their television with all of that.
It was like a fucking space shuttle explosion.
Well, speaking of space, Bill.
Space.
Still sticking with Netflix, read this next one because this one is really, really interesting.
Okay, so amid rumors of the beloved NBC comedy returning in some form, Steve Carell is reuniting with The Office boss, Greg Daniels, for a new Netflix series titled Space Force Created by Carell and Daniels, their latest workplace comedy will follow the men and women tasked with developing this new initiative. So keep an eye out for Space Force. Listen, it's about time that we've had a United States of Space. And listen, we're going to start with the moon, go to the Mars. You think we're done with Mars? No. We're going to actually go back to Mercury and Venus because we forgot them. And then we're going to go forward.
I just wish people listening to this song right now could see the video because it's hysterical.
We'll post it We'll post it after the show so you guys can take a look at this because
I think I did
this
post
video
it
is ridiculous. But we're not done there. The Milky Way will be ours. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. And you know what? We're going to get out there to beautiful, little, terrific, icy planet of Pluto.
Alright, I gotta stop this.
It was out. It's back in. We love Pluto. Terrific planet with lots of great Plutonians. I love them.
No, I agree.
They're
I'm
gonna be great.
glad Pluto's black.
Black.
Pluto's back in the
Pluto's
mix.
black.
Back in the mix of things here in our
Yeah.
little corner of the Milky Way.
Yeah.
But going back to the story, Bill, a show which is geared to be in the vein of The Office with something as ridiculously over the top, which is also a real world thing getting applied to it.
Right.
With this team, Steve Carell and Greg Daniels, who created the American version of The Office along with Ricky Gervais, I think this is primed for something really great. It's gonna, kind of appease fans of The Office who have been wanting some kind of,
return.
Yeah, a return to the series, reboot. Plus, it's gonna get. I would say there's probably gonna be a minimum of like 3 other actors or actresses from The Office that probably get roles on this show in some capacity.
Oh yeah.
No doubt he's gonna.
If it's gonna follow that model, then
if they actually brought the entire cast over to play a different job, like they all, after the finale, like they all went their separate ways and shit.
I'll give you an example.
They all get hired on at this Space Force center.
Right. I'll give you an example of a format that has kind of always
make it happen.
Always worked was like the Kenny Powers kind of persona, and he did that in Eastbound and Down. He did it in Vice Principals. He's done it in other various
movie
forms.
He's been in.
And so I think if you can kind of just, like you said, just take these characters and put them in this new environment, be hilarious.
Absolutely gold.
Yeah,
absolute gold.
Gold, Jerry.
Whenever that gets a release date, we'll have more on that.
That's
something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
See how that turns out.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and
I'll read this next one.
Why don't you go ahead and read
I got
that
it,
next
Bill.
one?
We have a new horror anthology show called Folklore, which will be premiering February 1st on HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO On Demand, and their partner streaming platforms. Folklore is a 6-episode, hour-long series that takes place across 6 Asian countries, which are Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. Each episode is based on their respective countries' myths and folklore, featuring supernatural beings and occult beliefs. Overseen by different actors, each story was also filmed in the local language of the country. I feel like this horror anthology wave is really making the rounds here. Pretty much starting with, in modern times, American Horror Story.
Yeah.
They had, what was that other show that Sci-Fi just canceled?
Black
Channel Zero.
Channel Zero.
There's been a bunch of different ones over the last couple of years, off the trails of American Horror Story that are trying that same kind of thing. Multi-season shows that are just one-offs that don't really have any connective tissue, so to say, but they're just different stories being told with different characters.
Yeah.
This sounds really interesting because any kind of horror that we get, for the most part, is rooted in our own American culture.
Yeah.
But when you see horror done in
Horror
Hard on?
Hard on?
Horror done by different...
You got a damn hard on!
By different, by different cultures and different countries. I just got to drop that one right there. Yeah, they're very different the way that they take their approach. I mean, it's not all just jump scares and it's not all this, that, or the other. I mean, it's real elemental, infectious, feel it in your soul horror.
Yeah.
And especially when they're coming from Asian countries. I mean, if you watch The Ring and compare it to the Japanese version, or what's the other one with Sarah Michelle Gellar? The Grudge, compared to the Japanese version, Ju-On. I watched both.
Ju-On.
I actually rented Ju-On from the video store in Levittown back in the day.
Yeah.
True story. On VHS. Very, very different styles, and the way that they just change it up is a really refreshing take on the horror genre as a whole. And this is something that I'm really looking forward to, because I do enjoy that supernatural myth, folklore.
Yes.
Cryptozoological bullshit. Bigfoot's out there somewhere. You're not going to convince me he's not. So this is something right up my alley.
Yeah. And Mike, just maybe afterwards you could go back and just pull that clip of Sean saying, "Take it on the whole."
Yes, I could do that.
Take it on
isolate
the
it.
Yeah, isolate it. Maybe
that.
play it at the after the end credits of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation H does feel good on the whole.
I mean, maybe you could even just take, because he said hard on, take it on the whole, and right up my alley, all in that piece. So maybe if you could just segment those, put them together.
Put it together.
Wow. And could have a little gag reel for today's show.
Oh, gag reel. Yeah, gag reel.
I don't know if you're blowing me or dying.
What the hell?
This is too far, Tazi, everybody.
Too far, Tazi.
Bill, finish out our TV buzz for us, mercifully.
Yeah, you got it.
Go ahead.
The CW has ordered a pilot for The Lost Boys. Based off the 1987 film, the official logline for the series reads... but the tagline reads, "Welcome to sunny seaside Santa Carla." That's a mouthful. Home to beautiful boardwalks, all the cotton candy you can eat, and a secret underworld of vampires. After the sudden death of their father, two brothers moved to Santa Carla with their mother, who hopes to start anew in the town where she grew up. But the brothers... They're maggots, Michael. But the brothers find themselves...
Michael.
Yes, I'm right here.
Michael.
Finish it up, Bill. That's what she said.
Yeah. But the brothers find themselves drawn deeper and deeper into Michael's seductive world of Santa Carla's eternally beautiful and youthful undead. If you caught anything that I just said right now over the endless amount of Michaels.
So that's
are
a minute and 33 seconds of every time somebody says either Michael or Mike in The Lost Boys, all cut together one super clip.
Yeah, I'm sure people, if
there's
they
a
haven't,
great one for What About Bob as well.
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out now, if we didn't ruin The Lost Boys for you just now, with the
Michael.
I still got 23 seconds left.
Mike.
guys, this is just 15 seconds. The fact that this goes on for a minute 33 is shocking. Oh, Michael.
You must be Michael, right?
You must be Michael. Yep.
There we go. That's Michael.
I'm laughing at myself over here.
I see what you're doing. You're like up there.
I'm amusing the hell out of myself.
Well, I'm glad you can have some fun over there. Anything to add, Mike? Michael?
Michael.
Michael?
Mikey.
Michael.
This movie,
Hey, Mike.
the part in that movie that still haunts my dreams to this day and bothers me so much is when the rice turns into maggots.
They're maggots, Michael.
Still
You're
was
eating
one of the
maggots.
most disgusting, scariest, nastiest scenes ever where I was like, the creepy crawlies all over my body from that scene.
Gotcha, huh? Right in the feels.
Right in the yeah.
The part that got me was when they're all sleeping in the cave.
I was gonna say I like watching them sleep upside down.
Oh yeah.
And the Frog Brothers go, and they go in there during the daytime when they're not active.
Yeah.
And he stabs the one in the chest. He stabs basically Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The actor's Alex
Right.
Winter. Yep. And he stabs him in the chest, and that was like so gruesome. Because he woke up and those eyes, those contact lenses they had were like so job well done. And like that killing scene was just like, oh god.
It wasn't until Vampire in Brooklyn did I see such great work.
I'm surprised it's taken them this long to do something like this. Like back when that was all going down, the success of stuff like Buffy the Vampire moving over to television and all that kind of stuff, like that it took them this long because the cult following the Lost Boys still
Cult 45
is still alive and strong today.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a hit. It's going to be huge. I'm just surprised it took them this long.
See, I from watching shows on the CW, or if you've ever seen a commercial for a CW show, you know the route and the tone that it's going to take with, 20-something pretty boy looking dudes and chicks and, all hot body, whatever, and they're all going to be good looking, and it's just going to be bougie bullshit. Kind of glamorizing everything. So that's what I'm expecting. Maybe they can prove me wrong. But we will let you know what happens with that story. Yeah. Bill, before we move on, what are some of our chatters saying in there in the chat room here?
It's been a little quiet since we got off Netflix.
Yeah, the Netflix thing it's got people in an uproar.
What were they saying about Netflix? We can go backtrack a little bit. Not happy about it, yeah.
They're not
okay.
I mean, just some things about the sharing of accounts and things like that. I
feel like we should put up a poll of how many people share or let people share their.
How many people pay for their own
accounts.
Netflix account?
Yeah,
there you go.
That's a good one. We'll have to put that up at some point. Good one. So we are going to now flip our script, and we're going to change the focus over to the world of the films, the movies, moving pictures.
Movies.
Bill, I'd like you to read our first story here.
Okay, who are you going to call? The answer is Jason Reitman, son of original Ghostbusters series director Ivan Reitman, who has been announced to be directing the next film in the franchise. Reitman has co-written a screenplay already with Gil Kennan and plans to shoot the film this summer ahead of a July 10th, 2020 release. It also indicates the film will be a continuation of the 1984 original and its 1989 sequel and will not be connected to the 2016 reboot.
Bill, that's really interesting, especially with the comments that actress Leslie Jones had to say. Leslie Jones from the 2016 all-female version of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
She had some not-so-nice things to say about them. As I'm going to stop our music. I wanted the music here.
Yeah.
She wasn't too thrilled about this. Yeah, this one being connected to the originals and their version not. And whether it's because it's strictly an all-female thing or whatever route you want to go with that whole argument, I think the bottom line that can put any argument of racism, sexism, whatever you want to throw out there at it, the fact that the movie sucks, kind of shuts their whole argument down. If they put out a really great product to where it was deserving of being in the conversation of being in line with the original two and being a part of that universe instead of just some gross bastardization of it, then the argument would be there to be had. But that movie sucks. It's awful. It's terrible. It was a waste of time for Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Ernie Hudson to come back and waste their time even appearing on screen for that.
I would disagree with that point because I don't think any of those three would have gotten together prior, because this movie would have been done years ago. You know what I mean? So I think this movie had to come out to like, one, get these guys off their ass a little bit, realize like there's some money to be made, and I think the fact that it was a flop gives them more incentive now to make something that sends off the original Ghostbusters in a proper way, and not the way that you just saw in that reboot movie. So, I mean, only those guys would know best, but I mean, that's my take on it. But I mean, certainly, I just don't want to see these comedians, and they're very funny in what they do. Saturday Night Live, they're great in what they do. That's why they do it. And I just don't want them to take failure and not accept responsibility for it. Like, you tried, it's not what people wanted. Like, move on. It was you made a movie, you made money and stuff like that. Like, it's not what it what you hope for, probably, but that's what you get. And you know what? Like, just don't like throw that whole like Me Too kind of label on things and be like, oh, because we're women, because we're this. No, you're funny comics. You guys do, lots of great things.
Yeah, just your movie sucked.
Your movie sucked.
Basically,
you know what I mean? That's it. Like, don't fly under a false guise.
Yeah,
here.
because in today's society, nobody can accept failure.
Yeah,
and they have to, place the blame elsewhere. Oh, well, it's because I'm black. It's because I'm a woman. It's because I'm this. It's because I'm lower class. It's, everybody's got whatever the situation, whatever the person complaining, there's going to be people from every race, culture, religion. Everybody's going to be complaining about all the same shit. So you can't say it's just because of this. We're all screwed together. So just embrace it, accept it, and get past it.
Yeah, basically. Pretty much.
Moving along here in the movie world, Deadline reports that Paramount has already begun development on a Bumblebee sequel, though another Transformers film may come first. The outlet writes, there's a sequel in development. Before that, there's an animated movie in the works and future iterations of the overall Transformers series that may introduce new characters and bring others along. No word yet if director Travis Knight or any of the cast will return for the sequel. How many Transformers movies did you actually see? 'Cause I want to say I only saw the first two.
I saw
I
all the first three. I saw the one with Mark Wahlberg. How many others have there been? I didn't see
think
Bumblebee.
there's 5.
I didn't see Bumblebee.
No, I didn't see Bumblebee either.
That actually looks decent. I don't
From
know.
everything that I've heard online, it was actually a pretty decent movie, but it didn't do well just because the last couple have been unwatchable. I really think I only saw the first two. I know I tried to watch the one with the Dinobots and turned it off after 5 or 10 minutes. I don't care about this franchise, to be honest with you. I enjoyed the Transformers when I was a kid. I enjoyed the Beast Wars show when I was a little bit older. But as far as a film franchise, I don't care about the Transformers. Any of the movies that they do, they're so focused on the human characters that, that this is about the Transformers. I want to see Transformers. I don't want to see, some chick running around in the background who ultimately doesn't matter. So that's just my take on it. Anything to add about more Bumblebee, more Transformers, anything?
No, but I think more topless nudity should be always included. Always. I mean, just, a nip slip, maybe even just no bra. These things, it's good for sales.
Oh, well, depends what you're selling and who you're selling it to, I suppose. But I'm not going to disagree with you. More nudity is always better. So that concludes it for the news. The news here. We are going to keep it in the movie realm because, Bill, like we had mentioned at the top of the show, it's the beginning of awards season.
Yes.
Nominee lists and are coming out for Best Actor, Best Actress,
yes,
Best Director. But But just like the opposite side of a coin, there's always an opposite side to success, which is failure. And the Razzie Awards are specially designed to find the worst of the worst when it comes to the film world. So we're just going to go over a couple of the categories and nominees. If you have seen any of them, feel free to comment. I know just looking through, there wasn't a lot that I had actually seen. Right off the top, Worst Picture, John Travolta's Gotti, Melissa McCarthy in Happy Time Murders, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly in Holmes and Watson, Taron Egerton's Robin Hood, and Who the Hell Knows Winchester. Did you see any of these?
Nope.
No, I did not either. But just the overall aspect of it, the worst. And that they actually get celebrities to come and show up to the awards and accept awards.
Yeah.
I know famously Halle Berry, when she won Best Actress for Monsters Ball, the very next year she won the Razzie for Worst Actress for Catwoman. So she actually showed up to the award show and accepted the award, humbly and in jest, and But some people, I mean, it does get a little crazy. I know there's some political turmoil on here that I'm gonna scroll to. I know Donald Trump was nominated for a couple things for documentaries that he was shown in. Just a lot of the stuff is in ill humor. Not such a nice space, but for the most part, I mean, they're all in good fun. So if you've seen some really, really bad movies, if you're in the chat, let us know what you watched. Was the movie bad? Were the actors bad? Was the design bad? Whatever it was, let us know. What were some of the real pieces of crap that you watched this past year? Moving over to the real jewel of the award season is the Oscar ceremony. Bill, we had our Best Picture nominees announced the other day with somewhat of a major surprise, as Black Panther has been the first comic book film nominated for a Best Picture award. Do you agree with Black Panther being nominated for a Best Picture? And B, if not, was Black Panther even the best comic book movie of 2018?
So I'll be curious to hear what the actors and the Hollywood people that day on the red carpet. I think that's when you're when you're gonna get the the opinions and the feedback of the colleagues and the peers in the industry. So I mean, I won't really know what the mindset was of Hollywood nominating that movie until that day. But just some things that stand out for me is just how ultimately one, it portrayed African Americans in the movie. I think it did a tremendous job at really showing a black culture that I think a lot of people just they saw the uniting aspect of it, the coming together, and I think that tells a tale in just our modern society right now with black people, African Americans, being caught up in a racial war right now, and that certainly sucks to come out of civil rights movements, just in our past recent under 100 years, and then to be feeling like you're making strides or progressions, and then to see a setback. I think it's something positive on screen that depicts a future unlike of what we have right now, that a lot of people are looking towards. So I think economics displayed in the movie were great. Visual effects were great. The story for what it was, I think was very strong. And you asked, do I think it was the best comic book movie of the year? Not necessarily, but I feel like in order to be nominated for this category, I think it was definitely the most well-balanced movie. Like I said prior, Infinity War, that's like the all-star game of any sport. That's like, when you have, Chase Utley, and you have fucking Derek Jeter. You have I don't know who's your ace. Like Roy Halladay. That's like having like an all-star game of just all the best people in the business. And that's what Infinity War felt like. And I wasn't really too impressed with the storyline and, some of the build-ups and, just it had its flaws. And so I would say as the most well-balanced movie, I would say Black Panther was that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
A good movie is a good movie because it's a good movie, not because of, it has this many heroes or characters. It's a good movie because they wrote a good movie and the actors acted in a good movie. Avengers Infinity War is a much better movie than Black Panther, so taking extrinsic things away from the background of why Black Panther was successful and looking at the award for the movie that was deemed the best picture, not because of what it represented or who it affected or anything like that, because the movie was the best movie. There is no reason that Black Panther should be on this list ahead of Avengers Infinity War. I'm not saying that Black Panther wasn't a great movie. I enjoyed it very much. But I think a lot of the things that you touched on in your explanation were things that had nothing to do with the movie itself being good. It's why people are going to come see it. But that doesn't make it a good movie. All that build up and hype behind it can be there, but when the butts get in the seats, if it was a shitty movie, then it's not going to be up for a Best Picture nomination regardless. It was a good movie, but it wasn't the best movie, and that's what this award is for. So, in my opinion, they should not have included this film on the list, but it is a step in a positive direction for the comic book genre of films to get into the conversation for these major awards. So, if you're going to take anything away from that, at least it gave us all that. So
things are getting heated here in the Oscar debate room. We're going to send it back to Chet over in Arizona, reporting to us live. But Chet? No Chet. All right, so back to us here in the studio.
Well, we're going to cool down. We're going to get a little weird because, Bill, we have some strange stories that I want to get to before we get to our brand new game. Bill, take it away.
So, Mike, the situation, Sorrentino is headed to prison for tax-related offenses. Sorrentino's 8-month sentence in the Otisville Federal Correctional Institution also comes with 2 years of supervised release, 500 hours of community service, and $124,000 in restitution and $10,000 in fines.
Former To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen was arrested. Absolutely. Arrested last week in Stamford, Connecticut for larceny. Police said that he failed to pay a local vendor nearly $13,000 for items purchased in 2017. He was writing bad checks, I believe. Hansen has since repaid all owed money and all charges have been dropped, Bill.
Fantastic. Well, Egyptian TV host Mohammed Al-Ghaidi has been fined and sentenced to 1 year of hard labor after interviewing a gay man on his privately owned TV channel last year. According to the BBC...
He did what?
Yep. According to the BBC...
Chop his hands off!
Egypt has barred gay people from appearing in any of the country's media outlets, and the government has been arresting suspected homosexuals in recent months, relying on a 1961 law that criminalizes habitual debauchery. So basically, still living in the Stone Age here, and, murdering people who they think are homosexuals, or, openly homosexual. That's like witches, like doing like a witch hunt. She's a witch! How do you know?
And the witch!
I don't know. She's a witch, though.
If she weighs as much as a piece of wood, then she's a witch. So what should we do? Throw her into the pond!
Monty Python.
And finally, fans of the Funny or Die website may recognize their series Zach Morris's Trash as a fun romp down memory lane, highlighting the diabolical behavior of the aforementioned character. Mark Paul Gosselaar, who portrayed Zach on Saved by the Bell, has revealed that he's been following the video series and commented on it, saying, if you really break it down, he did some really shitty things, and it's funny if you're a real, true fan. This last one in particular really was the best one for me, because A, these videos are great, Saved by the Bell was great, and just seeing such a satirical spin on it and really nitpicking everything that Zach did and breaking it all down and centering it around this agenda is absolutely hysterical. If you haven't seen any of these videos, just go to Funny or Die and type in Zach Morris's Trash. They break down the terrible deeds and behaviors that he had to get his way for different things and manipulate his friends and teachers, and it's just a lot of fun.
He does some downright fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, I mean they really went at stuff with people with disabilities and
yeah, when he's got the chick in the wheelchair and he's just totally degrading to her and stuff like that.
Oh, it was absolutely great.
Just to always further his agenda.
And that is going to do it for our Strange Stories segment. We're going to skip ahead as we are getting low on time. Bill, I want to play our brand new Through Lines game. We can say some discussion that we missed for a later show. But I am going to have to turn my screen here so you don't see the answers. Michael, you are going to also be playing this game. So whatever you're working on, I'll give you a couple seconds.
All right.
Go for it. And I will read the rules as we're prepping this brand new game. Like I said, this is called Through Lines. The rule states that 3 films will be read in which one actor has appeared in all 3. You two are going to guess the actor that has appeared in all 3 films. If there is more than one answer, I will have to double check because I might only have one answer written. Well, I only have one written answer down for each one, so I'll have to double check just to make sure. So just a quick example. I'm going to give 3 films. You tell me who it was. The Waterboy, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. Who is the actor that has been in all 3 of those films?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. So that is how it's going to work.
Rob Schneider.
I'm going to read off
Rob
3
Schneider.
films. You gentlemen, I'm going to... I don't have any writing utensils, so Bill, I'm going to give you one, then we'll flip over to Mike. We'll just go back and forth. Okay?
We're going to flip-flop.
So, Mike, I'm going to give you the first one.
Okay.
Just another note here. I tried not to pick really overly popular movies or big blockbuster type movies and focus on smaller to mid-size ones. I mean, I mix them in there for a little bit of a hint, but you'll see how it works.
All right.
The Mask, Night and Day, Charlie's Angels.
Oh, what is her name?
That's what I want to know.
Why can't I think of her name? Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz is
there
correct.
You go.
Bill Tozzi.
Yes?
Your 3 films. Guess the actor.
Okay.
Rain Man, Collateral, Born on the 4th of July.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is correct. Tie ball game here.
TC.
Michael. Gattaca, Training Day, Sinister.
Ooh. Can I steal if he doesn't get it right?
For no points. Gattaca, Training Day, and Sinister. Guess the actor.
Bob Hope.
Hope is incorrect. Bill?
Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawkins.
Hawke.
Oh.
Just Hawke.
Sorry.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawkins. Bill.
Yeah.
Jennifer's Body. Jonah Hex. This is 40. Guess the actor. And repeat them if you'd like. Jennifer's Body, Jonah Hex. This is 40. Can't.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
I was blanking on her last name for a minute. I was like, what's her name?
Schwing.
Think about that ass.
Mike.
Yes.
Your films.
Yes.
Yes.
Are Crash,
Crash.
Reign Over Me.
Rain Overdrive.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
Guess the actor. Crash, Reign Over Me.
What is
Iron
his
Man
name?
2.
Skinny black guy.
5.
Is that who it is?
4.
What's his name?
3.
I don't know his name.
2.
I know names.
1.
Peanut butter.
Right answer. Peanut butter is incorrect. Bill?
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Cheadle. God damn it.
Don Cheadle is correct. Bill Tazzy.
Sensual chocolate.
Yes.
Funny People.
Yeah.
Superbad. Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Mmm.
Give them to me one more time.
Funny People.
Mm.
Superbad. Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Mm.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill is incorrect.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is correct.
I didn't even think of him in that.
I can't do his laugh. I forget. Damn it. It's very it's
I don't know. It kind of sounds like
very
Matt
raspy.
Yeah.
Going back to Toxic Mike here.
Yes.
Mike,
Hey.
your 3 films are Platoon,
Platoon.
Scary Movie 3,
Scary Movie the Third.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Ooh.
Diverse bunch of films.
Leo DiCapricorn.
I don't know who that is,
Leo DiCapricorn.
but is incorrect. Bill, care to venture a guess? Platoon, Scary Movie 3, and Wall Street.
well, you gotta have tiger blood. It's gotta be Charlie Sheen.
It is Charlie Sheen, indeed.
Charlie.
Bill Tozzi.
Tiger blood.
Your films are Hairspray, Joe Dirt, Batman Returns.
Oh.
One more time.
Hairspray.
Yes.
Hairspray.
Joe Dirt.
There you go.
Batman Returns. It's fun picking such different films from these
Trying to think
actors'
Hairspray.
Yes.
filmography and putting them together. Really can throw you off.
I'm just gonna go with Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken is correct.
Wasn't Ricky Lake?
I don't know. Christopher Walken's in it too.
I'm posting right now. Trivia is happening.
Trivia is happening.
So
as Bill's posting about trivia happening while it's happening, Toxic Mike.
Yes.
Your films are Brewster's Millions, Little Shop of Horrors, and Little Giants.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis is absolutely correct. Bill Tozzi.
yeah,
Sucks that he went away from the industry. I liked him.
Wild Hogs,
Wild Hogs.
Boomerang,
Ooh,
Blue Streak.
Boomerang's actually a really good movie, by the way.
Name the actor.
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence is correct.
Martin Lawrence. Boy, you so crazy.
Gina.
Shanae.
Toxic Mike.
Yeah.
Your films are Avatar,
Avatar.
Heartbreakers,
Heartbreakers.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Breaker.
Oh. Why can I not think of her name?
I don't know. I need the name, though. 5, 4,
It's hurting my soul. I can't
3,
think of her name.
2.
Activia.
One.
No, it's the other girl.
Yeah.
Bill, care to guess?
I think you're thinking of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
But
no,
it's
no.
not her.
No, no. I know. No, I wasn't thinking of Jamie Lee Curtis, but they're both this like.
Somebody of the...
Sigourney Weaver.
There you
Sigourney
go.
Weaver
Sigourney.
is correct.
Sigourney.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney. How do you get that name, Sigourney?
That's a
I don't know,
strange
but
name.
if you put Sigourney and Jamie Lee Curtis every single moment of the day.
Bill, Hancock,
Whoa.
Mighty Joe Young,
Thought that was a request.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron is
Yeah.
correct. Mike,
Yes.
your films are Bad Words, Horrible Bosses, Juno.
Jamie Lee Curtis now.
That's what's his name?
What's her name from Friends? Is it
You
her?
think it's a her?
I think it's a her. I
Interesting.
can't think of her name from Friends.
Yeah, I think it's what's his name?
Ross's
From,
girlfriend from Friends. What was
Saturday Night Live.
her name?
What's his name?
Why can't I think of her
I
name?
can't think of the. I
I'm going to
can't
tell
think of my
you
guy's name.
you're both wrong.
Okay.
It's not Ross.
Say it again. Say the movies again real quick.
Films are Bad Words, Horrible Bosses, and Juno.
Charlie Day.
That is incorrect. Bill?
Is it the girl from X-Men? Fuck. Kitty Pryde?
No.
Is it Kitty Pryde?
No. The
Who is
answer is Jason Bateman.
Oh.
Jason
He's forgettable.
I love Jason Bateman.
I like Jason Bateman too, but he's an actor that you forget about. You just don't. He doesn't pop off the screen.
All right, we're back at who's up? Bill?
Yeah.
Bill, your films are The Legend of Bagger Vance, After Earth, 7 Pounds.
Will Smith.
Will Smith is correct. Will Smith, everybody. Uh-oh.
One Love.
Sorry about that. Talk to Mike.
Yeah.
Mean Girls.
Hi. Mean Girls.
Dear John.
Dear John.
So
Les Miserables.
Alicia Silverstone.
It's incorrect in
Damn
every
it.
movie. Bill, care to share?
One more time.
Mean Girls, Dear John, and Les Miserables.
Yeah, she wrote me a John Deere letter.
Ah.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I really don't know. I'm just trying to think of like who the Mean Girls were.
2.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan is incorrect. The answer is Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Baines? Spines? Spoons?
No.
Ah.
Who's up? Bill.
You.
Zombieland. Garfield. What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Mike.
Yes.
The Green Mile. Daredevil. The Whole 9 Yards.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan is correct.
Good.
R.I.P.
Bill. Son-in-Law. Biodome. Encino Man.
I should have this. Pauly Shore.
Yes.
Wheeze and the Jews.
Mike.
He's in the jizz.
You have Dirty Work, Almost Heroes, and Wayne's World.
Saigon Horror.
Christopher
Bit my
Walken.
nose off.
Christopher Walken is incorrect. The answer is Chris Farley. Chris Farley.
I hated him.
What?
I'm kidding.
Cut his mic.
Nobody
cut your
ever
own
said.
mic.
When do you ever hear like, oh, I hated Chris Farley? You never hear that. I just
Never.
wanted to put
I mean,
that
I
out
probably
there.
wouldn't argue with you if you're like, considering the way he died. Like, yeah, he was a piece of shit. I fucking hate him. Well, yeah, he did coke and heroin at the same time. I mean, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah. Few more here, gentlemen, before we get out of here for the day.
Artie Lang's still living.
Barely.
Bill, you have American Pie, Goon, and Road Trip. American Pie, Goon, and
I think
Road
of his
Trip.
3 names.
Come on.
It does have 3 names. And each one of these names has 2 of the same letter in
Well,
them.
I can only think of his name in the one movie.
Sean William Scott.
Sean
There you
William
go.
Scott is correct.
Stifler's mom.
Toxic Mike, you have Major Payne, American Pie, and Angus.
Good one.
This is a gentleman that we've
Damon
Matt-
Wayans.
No, a gentleman we've met and interviewed.
Chris Owen.
Chris Owen himself, the Shermanator. Oh, man.
Shermanator.
Friend of the show. Gravity, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Batman and Robin.
George Clooney.
George Clooney is correct. Mike. Hollow Man, Tremors, X-Men First Class. Hollow Man, Tremors, X-Men First Class.
Emma Watson.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Bill?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
I like when you get like 3 movies that like were only on like one day when you didn't go to school or something like that, and you're like, Hollow Man. Fuck.
I like Hollow Man. It's a good
I
movie.
like how bad it is.
Didn't Rob Lowe appear in Robin? Whatever. Fuckface 2.
Wow.
What?
Bill, your last one.
Okay.
You have The Cat in the Hat, So I Married an Axe Murderer, The Love Guru.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is correct. And
Yeah, baby!
Mike, your final one.
Final one.
You have.
Yes.
It's going to be a little toughy.
This is a tasty burger.
Hellboy,
Hellboy.
Cruel Intentions,
Cruel Intentions.
Legally Blonde.
What is her name? She's hot. In Cruel Intentions, when she looks over and goes, I mean, do you want a blowjob? And she does the little hand motion. What is her name?
Hellboy, Cruel Intentions, and Legally
Cruel
Blonde.
Intentions. Yeah, she just got used and abused. Can't think of her name.
Bill?
See,
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of Cruel Intentions. Was that
started
with
off
Neff
right.
Campbell?
No.
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 That was
That's
with
Wild Things.
That was with what's her name
okay.
from Buffy?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, and the other dude. Who I've never seen him in many other things, but he was the dick.
Ryan Phillippe.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Um,
And then the girl. And Sarah Michelle Gellar hooks up with the girl.
Who is that girl?
And they got didn't they get like best kiss?
I think
an award
yeah.
or something?
I'm really
VMAs
blanking on her
or
name
something.
at
Yeah.
the moment here. And you guys
MTV.
giving me so many clues, and I know who she
We
is.
give a
I know who she
countdown
is too,
here.
and I can't think of her.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final guesses. Anybody?
Nah.
The answer is Selma Blair.
There you go.
Selma Blair.
There you go.
Oh, wrong. That was a totally wrong person I was thinking of.
Really?
When you started you were like, so I thought you had it. So that is going to do it for our first rendition of Through Lines.
Well, that was fun.
Maybe I can make a TV rendition as well.
Yeah, you know, with
That'd be
little
fun, too.
graphics and stuff. Listen,
I had graphics. Did they get put up, Mike?
The one for that I did not have. I apologize.
And
I misspelled a word on one of the graphics.
What word?
So you'll find out. Watch the video. So yeah, epic fail on my part.
Oh, great.
Gotcha.
Good job, Mike.
Don't
Well,
forget-
we're going to send Mike back to school before next show.
But you know what?
Get him
Before
a
we do
phonics
that, let's
book.
give him a strawberry candy. Here you go, Sonny. Here's a strawberry candy for you.
Oh, shut up.
Would you like a lozenge?
Lozenge.
Would you like a lozenge? Would you like a Ricola?
Ricola.
Would you like a Ricola?
Rickroll.
Would you like a Ricola?
Well, gentlemen, I think that's going to be time.
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
we had a great show.
Great.
We talked about the wall. We talked about Netflix. We talked about the Donald. We talked about a lot of great topics. But that's just going to be it, Bill.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm
That's
done.
it.
I can't do anymore.
There's no more. None whatsoever. Why don't we just go back and forth into Trump voice? You just do your Trump voice.
Right.
Right. So listen, today was a great show. You did it, Sean. You are tremendous, incredible, beautiful. You're handsome. You're one of the finest Americans that we have.
Listen, Rosie O'Donnell is a pig, okay? I've never seen anything quite so disgusting in my entire life.
Yes.
Now, look, the Donald is terrified of Rosie O'Donnell, so
Terrified.
much so that this is what the Donald plans on doing with the
gonna
wall.
do this.
Here, I'm going to get just chain link fences.
Chain
okay?
link.
Chain link fences. I'm going to plaster Rosie O'Donnell's face across the entire length of the southern border.
Her
of the United
entire head
States,
on
just,
the wall.
to scare the Mexicans, and they're not
They'll-
going to want to
they'll
come
be scared.
into the country.
They'll be scared. They won't want to come in. It's that's just gonna be it. Covfefe.
Kofifi,
Kofifi.
look, Donald, he had some great times in New York with Kevin McAllister. He's done a lot of wonderful things
Back to New
with
York.
Trump Tower, The Apprentice. Everything that Donald touches turns to gold, and
It's gold. And just
Russia
like this
is next.
just like this show was today, gold, top notch, premium brand. It's like the quarter pounder of cheese of podcasts. Check us out.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I know it sounds incredible.
I'm hungry.
You're telling me. So listen, why don't we get out of here before our hunger strikes? And we can't, feed anyone. So let's just end the day. Thank you to our Cinescapers for tuning in. Lots of great times with you today. Won't forget you. We'll talk to you real soon. Sean, do you want to kick it?
I would love to kick it, but my computer's frozen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to sing the outro. So, do 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 skoo do 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 skoo do 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 ba do do burn burn do do skoo do 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 do.
We're gonna be on it.